My name is Jimwell Jr. Barrera Garcia, and you can call me Jem. I am a fourth-year PhD student in Critical Dance Studies with a designated emphasis in Southeast Asian Studies at the University of California, Riverside. I have been a teacher of Philippine folk dance for more than 8 years before coming to the United States. I am excited to be your Gluck Classroom Fellow as we will all learn an introduction to a folk dance of Indigenous origin from the Philippine archipelago. Before I begin, I would like to pay respect to the Tausug Indigenous peoples from whom the dance Sua-Ku-Sua came from, and to the Indigenous peoples of the Philippines to whom I am indebted for the Indigenous dances that I have learned since I was 7. More than 100 years ago, the influx of California citrus, most of which grew in Orange County, was considered the second gold rush. In 1889, the name Orange County became official and people started to plant oranges or citrus, which became the county's main crop. But did you know what is considered the king of citrus fruits, and is in fact the largest citrus fruit and the principal ancestor of the grapefruit? The answer is pomelo. Pomelo comes from Southeast Asia, where most of its wild varieties have been growing in Malaysia. The first attempt to commercialize pomelo started in the 1900s in Florida and California. Did you also know that there is a place in the Philippines where they made a dance for the pomelo tree? In particular, the Tausug Indigenous group in southern Mindanao, Philippines, made a dance for the pomelo tree called Sua-Ku-Sua. Shall we try saying it again? Sua-Ku-Sua. Sua-Ku-Sua literally means my pomelo tree or my pomelo flower. Sua is also a local term for pomelo. Sua-Ku-Sua is a Filipino indigenous dance that is influenced by the culture of Indonesians, Malaysians, and Chinese. The Tausug lives in the capital municipality of Sulu in southern Mindanao, Philippines. Aside from being known as fierce warriors, they are also noted for being remarkable seafarers and farmers. In this area, there are extensive orchards where pomelo and coconut are planted together with rice and some root crops. Due to the abundance of pomelo in the area, it served as a vital source of income for the people of Sulu. Thus, their dependence on the pomelo fruit as their source of livelihood prompted them to create Sua-Ku-Sua, a dance that celebrated pomelo and their appreciation of it both economically and for its beauty. Because of the abundance of pomelo in Sulu, the Tausug indigenous peoples built a connection with them and made a dance in honor of the pomelo tree. Sua-Ku-Sua is an indigenous dance from the Philippines that compares the tree with people. The slender shape of the trunk and branches, gentle leaves, and beautiful flowers. As a courtship dance, the dancers communicate with each other through the use of the fans and the movements of the dance. They make use of 2 white fans that are swayed, as if to signify the swaying of the leaves of the Sua tree while singing along with the music. What you see here are screenshots of the dance Sua-Ku-Sua when done in pairs and on stage. Because of COVID-19 and in adherence to government protocols, we will be dancing Sua-Ku-Sua individually and virtually, but together. In other words, we will be performing the steps of the dance Sua-Ku-Sua alone, together. Isn't that wonderful? The Sua-Ku-Sua dancer makes use of 2 white fans that are usually swayed in a figure of 8 motion, held in an L position, or used while the wrists are flexing. As an alternative to fans being held by both hands, you may use books, notebooks, or paper. If these materials are not available within your reach, you may use your hands and arms throughout the dance. The dance features the movement of the fans or your hands that mimics the movement of the pomelo tree. As the Tausugs tell their story through their movements, the choreographic use of the fan transforms it into tiny sails, face mirrors, butterflies, shields, and leaves throughout the dance. The fans also resemble the rustling leaves of the pomelo tree as it is blown by the wind. Here is what the traditional Tausug costume looks like. The women wear a top called barawasi, a printed or plain Chinese silk or cotton material which serves as the traditional loose blouse used in the dance. Their pants, also known as sawal or kantiu, are loose Chinese pants with soft white band attached to a wide waist. Both dancers wear a siyag or shoulder band, which is a separate wrap around malo or tubular cloth. The men wear a short-waist collarless shirt called baho, which is studded with tiny brass buttons and made up of printed or plain silk or cotton material. For you to have an idea how Sua-Ku-Sua looks when performed on stage, please access the PDF file of this presentation. You may also access the lyrics of the song and the song's accompanying melody through two other separate links. This virtual dance class is intended to provide a productive space for the students to learn a particular dance form whose steps are easy to remember, where one would be able to have fun doing it individually and take their appreciation for Indigenous dance arts one step higher based on this immersive experience. As we all face the threats of the global pandemic, the dance class is designed to encourage learners to move while staying at home, dance with social distancing, and allow the body to reconnect with nature and a specific Indigenous dance culture coming from the Philippines. The modified version of SuaKuSua I will be sharing to you is inspired by the interpretation from the book called Sayaw, Dances of the Philippine Islands Volume 1, which features the dance Sua-Ku-Sua. This dance was researched by national artist Ramon A. Obusan and was presented by Dr. Larry Gabao in the 1985 National Folk Dance Workshop and once again presented by Cherry Villanueva in 2018. For virtual classroom learning purposes, I have modified parts of the dance for a solo performance and arranged the figures using the documented steps of Sua-Ku-Sua as a guide. So, get ready and let us give tribute to the dance Sua-Ku-Sua and the Tausug indigenous peoples of the Philippines by grabbing any book or paper or just using your bare hands and let us learn Sua-Ku-Sua together. Follow along with me in the next 4 videos where we will learn the hand movements while we use the fans and its corresponding feet movement. Let us dance Sua-Ku-Sua.